So recently Upworthy shared this video on their Facebook page. As you can see, naked guy riding a bicycle. The whole point of this public service announcement was to raise awareness that drivers should look, and especially check their mirrors, before they do something stupid and end up injuring a cyclist. So you can see this guy's riding around town, not a single person misses him, everybody's looking, it's just a big gag. And at the end, there's a guy saying, you can get your free stickers that have a bicycle and a little triangle, just to remind you to check your wing mirrors and look for cyclists. And it's all cute, they injected humor, but the amazing thing is the amount of vitriol on Facebook from anti-cycling motorists who made all sorts of assertions that bicyclists are menaces on the road, they think they own the road, they always break laws. People are giving examples of this and that, yet not a single person supplied evidence for their assertions. So I did the only intellectually honest thing, and I've actually uploaded a helmet cam video of one of my normal rides to and from breakfast, 4 miles round trip, and you can actually see who's actually breaking the laws. So here we are in Clifton Park, New York. It's a medium-sized town. On this ride, like I said, is 4 miles round trip. I'm going to Dunkin' Donuts for breakfast. It's one of my days off because I work back end of week. But anyway, I'm on my mountain bike. I'm riding on the shoulder, which is actually kind of chewed up. I really should be in the lane, and later I actually do start taking the lane more often. But beginning's not so bad. And you'll notice in the video, I am the only cyclist on the road. But you'd sort of expect that, considering that Clifton Park is kind of a small town. Cyclists are already a very small minority among road users, and you'd figure on a Monday when most people are at work, yeah, you're not going to see a whole lot of bicycles on the road. So I'm coming up to this first stoplight here, and this guy's okay. You don't really even see any lawbreakers till a couple minutes in. But like I was pointing out, I realize that this video may seem slightly biased considering that I'm the only biker on the road, but what can I do? I can't force people to take their bicycles out just so I can record them and see if they follow the laws or not. And you just wouldn't expect to see too many bicycles in the first place, especially on a 4-mile trip that uses the exact same roads to and from. So you'll see some things coming up. Now you can see I'm following law right now. I'm on the shoulder, but I have to go into the lane right here just because there's an object blocking the way, the roadwork sign. And if you live in New York, you should look up Statute 1234. That explicitly says I can go into the lane to avoid obstacles, debris, or if the shoulder is completely unusable, and if there's no bike lane present. And overlooking I-87, facing north, the way I'm looking. So again, staying on the shoulder because this part is wide enough for me to go there and there's no cracks in the road. And I find myself actually having to use the actual traffic lane more often now because the past winter completely destroyed the roads, and Saratoga County hasn't even bothered to start patching them yet. Now, in this point up here, I actually have to go into the center of the lane because I'm going straight across the intersection. It has a straight and a right turn arrow painted on the asphalt. And the reason why I usually take the lane is so people don't do what's called a right hook. They overtake you illegally and then they turn right directly in front of you, which can cause a collision. It's illegal and it's really stupid, so the safe thing to do is just to force motorists to stay behind me. So, look, there you go. First guy blows a red light. There is no green arrow that says he can turn right, so he had to stop, look, and then proceed right. That would have been the legal move, but no, he didn't even slow down. He just blew right through the red. Now you may also notice in this video, you might not see me actually signaling my turns. I do, every turn. But the problem is, this camera you can see has a 120-degree field of view. So it's not going to capture my hands showing the signals. And I'm going through the Clifton Park Center Mall parking lot. It's a good shortcut. Okay, so stop sign. Hey, I didn't actually brake. Put my foot down, stopped, looked, and then proceeded, like I'm supposed to. Oh, look, another stop sign. I wonder if I'll blow this one as well. It doesn't look like... Oh, no, put my foot down. And I looked. See, that's the thing. People will eventually admit that some cyclists do obey the laws, just like some motorists do obey the laws. The problem is you don't remember the ones that obey them. You only remember the ones that break them, because they're the ones who stand out in your mind. Now you can see here I'm actually riding towards the center of the lane, because look how chewed up the right side of that lane is. Cracks and potholes from this past winter. Now luckily it's a 2-lane road, so I'm not really obstructing traffic at all. But even if it were a single lane, I'd have the right to do it, just because it's not safe to ride all the way to the right. So that's the thing. If you ever wonder why a cyclist is riding in the middle of the lane, and I'm not talking about the group rides where they hog the lane illegally, just like a single person or maybe two, consider why they're doing it. It's probably something like this. There's debris in the road, there's potholes, there's cracks. It's simply unsafe. Or maybe they don't want motorists overtaking them and then giving them a brake check or doing a right hook. That's a perfectly legal and reasonable thing to do. It's a very practical thing to do. See, like here, I'm towards the center of the lane because it's a pinch point. And I'm going right, so I signal right with my right hand. I come up to this stop sign, and I see a guy to my left coming from the distance. I assume he's going straight because he doesn't have a signal. So that's what you would naturally assume. That's what I do when I'm driving. Oh, and look, a guy broke a law there, cut across the intersection like that. He took the turn way too sharply. And if you don't believe me, that's actually illegal. And you saw the guy there who made the left turn in the black car did not use his signal. So how was I supposed to know? And here I am, the Dunkin' Donuts. Nothing really eventful here. So now I'm on the leg home. So I'm just doing the exact reverse route of what I did to get there. So I signal a left turn. That car up ahead slows down and waves me through, so I take the left turn since he waved his right of way. You can see I didn't cut across the painted line, because you're not supposed to. Coming up to a 3-way intersection here, which is interesting because the traffic from the left doesn't stop, so it's a little tricky sometimes. So again, I don't blow through an intersection, because what sane person really would? look back and I see that woman, she's holding her phone in her hand talking, which again is another illegal move. Now you might say, well, the vehicle, you can't do that while you're moving. You can do it if you're stopped. Yeah, but her car was still in drive, and a police would give you a ticket for that. In New York, first offense is $150, plus a $93 surcharge, plus 3 points on your license. So pretty steep, just for a cell phone violation. Once again, you can see I'm not hugging the very far right of the lane because it's torn up. There's grates, there's potholes, there's cracks. It's just not sensible to do so. Now coming up to this intersection, there is a right turn only lane, but there is not a green arrow. So that car did not completely stop. Got close. That one definitely didn't, and that's a professional driver. Number 3, didn't even slow down. So again, I take closer to the center of the lane going through the intersection just so people don't overtake me. And it is illegal to overtake somebody in an intersection. And you'd have to be shit-brain stupid to do that. Now, I need to get over to the left because I'm going to go through the movie theater parking lot. So, I make sure I signal and I look back because there is a truck behind me. See, in that shot, you can actually see me signal because my head turned back far enough where you could actually see my arm. So up here through intersection, I don't have the right of way, so I have to stop. Put my foot down like I'm supposed to, and off I go. This is a little bit of bad of an intersection because those bushes kind of act like a blind spot. Now, notice how abruptly that woman in the minivan stopped when she saw me. She saw my camera, too. Everybody's got a brass set of nuts until they find out they're being recorded. Interesting thing about her, too, you saw she did not come to a complete stop, even though she was turning right on a red light. So, another violation. So looking at I-87 southbound. And you see at this point here, I'm forced to go into the lane because the shoulder decreases in width. It becomes at most 12 inches wide. That's not reasonable to expect a cyclist to use. But you can see I'm not hogging the lane. I'm trying to be courteous. But I will take the center of the lane up at this stoplight because, again, it's to prevent getting right hooked, overtaken in an intersection where it would just be a pinch point. And I will say this, the vast majority of drivers understand why I do things like that. Because especially the shoulder on this side of the road is egregiously bad. You can just see how torn up it is. And there's maybe 200 feet where it's good. But would I really be a predictable cyclist if I'm weaving to the right, then weaving to the left as soon as the shoulder becomes bad again? That just pisses off motorists. I might as well just stay here, hugging that line. Turning left up here anyway. So you see, there was quite a few motorists breaking the law in just 4 miles. There's something to be said about that.